Hey, it's Jason Creel. I want to talk to you about something I've been thinking about, and that is scheduling your lawn care customers. So let's talk about it from a mowing standpoint and what that looks like. And I think we don't have to make this too complicated, but I want to make a point of why the scheduling is important. In my opinion, one of the things that makes the lawn care business a good business and can separate it from other businesses is the predictable, repeatable income. So let me clarify. In another business, let's say you have a mechanic shop, or you're a HVAC guy, or whatever, a plumber. Those businesses pay very well for their time. They charge you whatever, $100 an hour labor, but a good bit. So those businesses are good businesses, and for many of those businesses, the demand is very great. And that, if you go to a mechanic shop that's been around for a long time or has a good business, there's always cars in there. And so I'm not saying that it's a bad business. I'm just saying it's not as predictable. It is. They're going to have plenty of business, most likely, but you just never know. They may have a slow day or a busy day. Well, in the lawn business, if you schedule it right, and this is why scheduling is so important, then it is predictable. You should know, for the most part, 2 weeks from now, how busy a Thursday is going to be. And you set the schedule up to work for you and not necessarily always for the customer. And so because the idea here is we're building a business. So let's say you're cutting grass. You've got weekly customers and bi-weekly customers. At least that's how I offer them. The reason I offer just weekly or bi-weekly and not every 10 days or as needed, or whatever other kind of combination somebody wants to come up with, is not because you're trying to be rude to the customer, but it's simply for scheduling purposes. And so I'm setting it up geographically, and some of this is somewhat common sense. I'm not claiming to reinvent the wheel. I just see people who I feel like don't have much of a schedule, and I don't quite understand that. So if you have weekly customers or bi-weekly customers, so let's say Monday you're in this neighborhood and this neighborhood. So any new customer you get in those in those particular neighborhoods, they don't have an option to say, hey, well, can you cut mine on Friday? I like for it to look good for the weekend. He said, I'm sorry, we service these particular neighborhoods on Monday. We'd be happy to come every Monday or every other Monday, and here's the price. So, and maybe you schedule it to where, you're hiring neighborhoods who more likely to request it be cut toward the weekend. You service those on Thursdays and Fridays. Tweak it how you need to. But this idea that, and so let me tell you how I learned this. One year, so I was growing my business, had weekly and bi-weekly customers, and I got to thinking, sometimes during the middle of the summer, those bi-weekly customers, it becomes a pain if it's raining a lot or they're watering their grass or having it fertilized. Then it gets really thick and it takes longer to cut the grass. And so sometimes you even have to go over the yard 2 times with the mower because the grass is so thick. And I had what I thought was a good idea at the time. Well, why don't I put some of those people on a every 10-day schedule? One, I'm getting an extra cut a month out of them, so I'm making more money. And then 2, the grass won't be as tall. I'll be cutting every 10 days as opposed to every 14 days. Well, I did that, and I think I just did it for 1 year because it was a bad idea, in my opinion. Now, maybe I could have worked it out differently. But so I had some customers that were maybe every other Monday. Well, now 1 week they're on a Monday, the next week they're on a Thursday, then they're back to a Monday, Thursday. Well, it just happened that I might not be in their area on that Thursday. I was always in the area on Monday. And so to get that extra cut in, to make that extra $40, $50, whatever it is, it messed up my schedule. I had to take my 3-man crew and drive back the other side of town to cut this 1 yard, who had now switched over to a 10-day schedule. So to me, the way for lawn business, because in my opinion, it's not quite as profitable. You know, probably don't charge $100 an hour like an electrician or a plumber or HVAC guy. So for cutting the grass, you have to be more efficient, in my opinion. So the idea is to continue to build this super efficient route where one day you look and you say, I have 30 yards in this same neighborhood, and we come in here with my crew and we spend the whole day and we knock out all 30 of them. You know, now that's when you start really making money. And if it's your schedule's all up in your head and you just look at it and you think, well, I don't know that's probably been at least 10 days since I cut that yard. Let's run over there and see if it needs cut. And then so-and-so called me and she said her grass was getting tall. I'm gonna go there and cut her. You know, if you give the customer too much freedom, you're gonna be driving all over town. You know, you set it up to be efficient and to maximize your profits and to cut down the driving time. And so let me tell you how we can do this practically. Okay, I think I've made my point hopefully on why this is important to schedule. But so how do you put together a schedule? So if you have a lawn care software, most of those will have some type of built-in scheduling feature. And so you can set them up, you know, you put the customer's information in and then you put on there, you know, this one's weekly or this one's every 2 weeks or, you know, however you want to do it. And hey, if you want to be every 10 days and have everybody every 10 days to where it works, where you're still keeping everybody in the same geographic area on the same day of the week, then that's fine too. You know, so I'm not making a point against 10 days. I'm just making a point of having this random schedule. So that's one thing. And then the other, if say you don't have a lawn care software or you don't want to mess with that, you can just do an Excel spreadsheet or a Word document and set it up. You know, so I had, at one point I did it like this. I would set it up week 1, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Week 2, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I would have all the customers printed off for that week 1 Monday, you know, all in the same neighborhood. Week 2 or week 1 Tuesday, all the customers in that same neighborhood. So you had them all scheduled, and if they were a weekly customer, they went on Monday of both weeks. If they were a bi-weekly customer, they went on Monday of just whatever week they were on. And so you can set it up like that and just print a fresh schedule out every 2 weeks and mark through them as you finish. But you know, the whole point is efficiency and condensing your route and you staying in control and keeping a predictable, repeatable business that you know exactly what has to be done, how long it's going to take, and whether you're doing it yourself or you have employees, you know this is an 8-hour day. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to finish in 8 hours. Or you know, hey, this is a 12-hour day. I need to hire an extra helper for this day or whatever you need. So hope that makes sense.